Hi, this is Sukrit here. Hope all of you are doing very well. In today's video, I wanted to be discussing about a very important topic um, around intention and how not to kind of place too much of importance towards your goals. So we will start with how not to place too much of importance towards your goals, and that would kind of segue into intentions, right? So Gautam Buddha, um, whom we all know, uh, kind of mentioned a very important statement. Attachment is kind of the root cause of all pain and suffering, right? So, attachment towards material things, attachment towards another person, attachment towards goals, attachment towards what you want to achieve is considered a very bad thing to have. Too much of attachment is definitely a bad thing, right? People often wonder, like, if I don't have an attachment or an emotion towards a goal, how am I going to achieve it, right? And I think that's a source of confusion for most people when they're thinking of attachment towards a goal. Being emotional towards a goal or being passionate about something is different from having um, an attachment, right? Both are two different things. Like, let me try to give you an example to make it clearer. Like, say, if you want to make an X amount of money, or say you're, trying to get a job in a company, right? And you made an application and you received an interview call, right? So you managed to clear the first interview call, and then your expectations started going up, right? So naturally, your the amount of attention and the amount of energy that you're giving to that particular thing or that particular event in your life is naturally at the highest level, right? You're now you can't take your mind off that interview that's going to happen tomorrow, right? And naturally, what happens is you're overthinking it. You probably don't have any peace of mind till that interview is happening, and as a result, you don't have clarity in your thought, or even you botch up your preparation, right? But behind the scenes, let's try to analyze what is happening, right? So when you give too much of importance or too much of attention to a particular thing or a person, all your energy kind of is going there. So there is an imbalance, energetically speaking. There is an imbalance that you have created in the nature, right? Nature kind of has or maintains a balance in everything it does, right? So when you place too much of importance towards a certain thing or a certain person, you're naturally creating an imbalance. And what does Mother Nature do? It brings an opposite force to kind of bring a balance. And hence, sometimes, though you are like completely focused on a certain thing, the opposite actually happens. The exact opposite happens. You can kind of note this in your life every time. So you want to be on time for a meeting, and you're all you can think of is to go for that meeting on time, right? So you wake up early, you kind of finish all of your tasks, you get ready, and you drive down, and suddenly you find that you're stuck in a traffic jam, which usually never happens, right? Or in this particular case of an interview that we are talking about, you know everything, and as soon as you land in that interview, you kind of you forget, or you have blank screen. Kind of also happens during examinations, right? um, I've seen this happen to me as well as to all my fellow students. Like, we have done night outs to kind of prepare for an exam, and we reach the exam hall, and we are suddenly blank. right? So this happens because we are kind of placing too much of importance to a certain activity and we are not letting it go. Like, so the nature steps in, the universe steps in and tries to create a balance, and hence we get the opposite result. So keep this in mind in the future. Whenever you're trying to achieve something, do your work, show your passion, do the best possible thing that you can do, but don't get attached to the result because that's not in your hand and it's not up to you, right? Bhagavad Gita says that very clearly. Okay, now how to get your intention right, right? Earlier, I think I kind of touched upon this topic in one of the videos, saying we have an inner intention, which is like within us, we want to achieve something. And then there's a bigger thing which kind of supersedes this inner intention called outer intention, right? Outer intention is kind of when you are attaching your goal or what you want to do with a bigger scheme of things. You're thinking the big picture, right? So you try to create a business. Probably you're going to give a job to 100 people, right? And logically speaking, you're kind of helping the universe kind of do its task, right? So and when you set these kind of intentions that kind of are for the greater good, right? You have to have faith in the universe, right? And so it naturally becomes a bigger thing, right? And has a lot more energy associated with it, a lot more motivation comes to you. So always think in terms of outer intentions. So it's good to have inner intention, but inner intention kind of dies down or fizzles out at the first obstacle that you face. But an outer intention is more like you're surrendering that to the universe, surrendering it to the God or the higher power, and hence you just need to have that faith, and things will start happening to you at the right time, right? I would recommend a book for this called The Surrender Experiment, which is below. And you can take a look at this. This is an amazing book which kind of speaks about the power of just surrendering to life's perfection. Life is perfect. What makes it imperfect is our interference. So if you kind of separate yourself or disassociate yourself and keep the I part out and stay away from that, I think the flow of the universe, the flow of life is perfect, and it kind of goes according to what is the purpose of your birth, or why you were born on this earth. What is your specific task? Everyone, I believe, has a very specific purpose on this earth. So with this, I conclude this video, and the activity for now is to kind of write down your intentions and set an outer intention for each one of those intentions, right? And try to break them down further from there and track them on a weekly basis. Okay, have a good day. Thanks.